Welcome to Atlanta for everybody that's new over here. My name is Saad Malik. I'm the CTO and co-founder for Spectro Cloud. It's my honor to be here to talk to you guys about Edge, and specifically AI at the Edge. Now, the dream is you have a model, you're able to pick it into a container, deploy it onto a device, and it scale easily. Sounds easy, but as you guys all know, models are updating very frequently, talent is really scarce, and of course, compliance never really sleeps. So a lot of the kind of information I'll be providing today is going to be on the learnings that we've had not only from our customers, but also from a report that we publish. So we have an annual report called State of Kubernetes that is conducted by an independent firm. And what they do is they look at, across the board, all the practitioners of Kubernetes on their operations. What are they doing? For this report, we also focus a little bit more specifically on what they're doing at AI at the Edge. Now, it's hard to kind of have a pick list with 50 different options on what are all the different use cases people do. But the top 3 that came up in terms of what people are looking to do is predictive maintenance. Imagine having a machine that is kind of having some kind of subtle vibration starting to happen over time. If you're able to predict within weeks or months something's going to be failing, saves a lot of cost. Second aspect is being able to provide better customer experiences. You have essentially maybe some kind of camera looking at people coming in, based on facial recognition, tying it to a loyalty program and providing a better experience. And of course, security, whether it's physical security or cybersecurity. All of these are obviously really cool, but imagine if you were to guess how many of these are actually in full-scale production today. For organizations that started just 2 years ago, only 11% of them have fully deployed an edge computing platform at scale. Now, the interesting thing is that many of the CIOs and leaders expected by now that they would have some return on investments. So ask a little bit deeper, like what is the barriers? What are the challenges that people aren't able to get to production as quickly as possible? And it's the same ones people would expect. Budgets, skills, and consistency. Now, security is one of the key ones here. Is a little bit different Edge. Not only do you have to worry about software security, but you also have physical security. AI adds another element. AI models themselves are complex, they're non-deterministic, so another attack vector people have to realize and think about is, how do I go ahead and actually protect against prompt injections? Somebody mentioned about computer vision, right? You're able to take a QR code and potentially manipulate an actual system itself. How do you protect against these things? And of course, budgets are already being relatively constrained. How do you now also, with limited budget, hire people that not only have infrastructure, software, and AI capabilities at the same time? It becomes very, very challenging. Follow-up question we asked in the survey was, what happens if you were to have 2 capabilities in a solution? Like, what would you look for? Number 1 was being able to have security, keep it built into the platform, and number 2, providing consistency. As you guys can all imagine, having a templatized approach for being able to deploy consistently an environment over and over again not only makes it that you don't have to have a lot of technical skilled people because you can just automate it, but number 2, it's cheaper, faster, and also reduces the security risks. Thinking about updates. So updates themselves, if you think about it's with one environment, you can relatively do it easy, but as you go from hundreds to thousands to tens of thousands of locations, how do you provide updates across all of these consistently? And different layers of the stack, whether it's infrastructure, or software, or the models, are updating at different times. Most organizations are updating the infrastructure maybe once a quarter, security patches, FIPS, et cetera. But as you start moving up the stack, especially as you start getting towards the models and the applications, they update much more frequently. Why is that? As soon as a model is deployed, it already starts to see drift. The actual data changes, behavior shifts, and the performance starts degrading. Some of the more advanced organizations that we work with are updating models on a weekly basis. Now, what's interesting is that many of these organizations that are updating more frequently, 50% of them have already adopted Kubernetes as the orchestration technology to power this. It ties in with their IT tools, their capabilities. They already have a good understanding of how it works. And they're able to see all the advantages that cloud native brings along with it. And this is obviously where we come in without going into full product pitch, just at a high level. So we provide a solution called Palette that helps with providing centralized management of your Kubernetes cluster. So whether it's in cloud, bare metal, or edge environments, our solution has been tested with our customers to up to 10,000 plus clusters from a single management plane. And we are one of the primary sponsors of Kairos, so providing immutable updates, everything from the OS all the way to the top of the stack. We have a new offering also called Palette AI that is more specifically targeted towards data scientists and platform engineering teams that want to be able to deploy models, inferencing engines, and LLM platforms onto different environments, whether cloud data centers or edge environments. We work really closely with NVIDIA on a number of different technologies, from NVAIE to the GPU operators, AIDP, and named model integrations. And the key aspect here is you have very expensive hardware, especially if you're doing inferencing with GPUs. We also make it easy to fully utilize all the hardware that you have in the platform from a single pane of glass.